All right, morning guys. Quick review here. See how we're making out with these yen 1 minute uh, weight down trades that we took yesterday. Here's the playground, and we've got a pullback. I thought it would be important to do a video during this pullback here because, like I said, this is a playground. This area where our stops are. This is the slow time frame. This is the faster one. We know that price has been observing or working our level, um, but it's also got to work the major level. Um, so within this cycle, all that's happening here is it's coming back up here to then come back down again. Where would that? How else can this go here? Let's look at the Swiss here. You see, hang on, before we go there, 1 second. Right, so our stops are up here. Stops, test, playground. So at no point are we supposed to move our stops. We need to let this playground continue until it says it's turning around, which it has not done yet. And that's where everyone makes the mistake. They're always in such a rush to trail their stops, but no, we're trying to ride the whole trend collectively. So if you trail your stops, the you're not going to be able to ride the entire thing. You remove the money from your brain, your mind, forget about the money, and just imagine you're simply uh, going through, I don't know, a maze of geography or something, a path. Don't see it as anything to do with money. So the Swiss stops are above here, obviously. Now the question is, because Swiss weight is still up, can Swiss go above the stops? Well, one of them can, but as long as only one of them goes, we don't want all of them to go. If just one goes, it's no problem. So I'm happy to leave the stops above the old trend line just in case Swiss wants to challenge that, and Swiss is the only one that does it, kind of thing. So I'm going to give them a little bit more room to allow for the spread in the event it does challenge it. So I'm thinking maybe Swiss does it and the rest of them kind of hold. And you know, this existing trend line was up. So Swiss is the only one. But if they're overall selling the LFX, then in theory any buys here will have to liquidate, because they just won't be able to hold on any longer. So here would be a really nice place to add to this. I'm thinking I might do that. So we'll observe in time what this does. Maybe give it a little bit more room. So we can do that as a rule. We know that the Swiss is the strongest one. We can have the Swiss stops above its old trend line, and the rest of them firmly at those stops, something like that. Like I said, we've got to be flexible with this. There's not going to be a fixed rule, but if we can somehow make it fixed in such a way like I just described, we should be good. Okay. Now, do I think the pound is going to go up here? I don't believe so. Um, I mean, the stops technically are there. We're not doing the pound though. But yeah, if a couple of them go back up there and the rest of them hold here, and then say one of them or three stay low, that would be really good. Let's put the euro yen in. The other ones I drew a few minutes ago, so we'll put them back here. Oops. All right, let's look at the Swiss index. See how we're doing over there. All right, here's the Swiss here. Obviously, the weight's still up. We're expecting a forced pullback in the yen, which will give this room to make its move in some of them. So something, I don't know, maybe we could come here or here. This is not to be looked at in any other way at the moment. Well, I'm glad we took some profit off the pound. The best thing to do for us would be to enter this in the exact same way that we're doing the yens on on the 1 minute time frame. But can we be bothered? Well, it's probably a good idea to start doing that. So why don't we just have a little draw out, because it would be really good to nail this, and we'll just forget. I mean, it doesn't matter. Remember that we're just trying to. This is a video game. We don't care about the money here. We're trying to figure out the best place to put the stops and fine tune our entries, so we don't have to deal with this kind of drawdown again. So let's try to do that now. Okay. I'll pause it and I'll get the story going, and then I'll be back in a second. All right, so that doesn't look too bad. Yeah, so our job basically is not to care about the money too much in these small increments. Our job is to ride the trend and the story, rather ride the story, and we get paid at the end of the story, not halfway through, not at the beginning, not 3/4 of the way through. No, at the end of the story, when it's telling us it's going to go back the other way. That's how we're going to try to approach this, and simply seeking maximum discount every time we reload. So let's just look here, and we'll try to do the same as we did with the yen. Weight is up. Okay. We're now seeing the yen go sideways when this has been up the whole time. CAD down against the Swiss, obviously. Aussie and New Zealand down against the Swiss. Now what's sorry, euro and pound down. At this time, what should be happening is, well, we see everything as down. We continue down. Okay. Down. Down, down, and down. So we're looking for one where one needs to liquidate, and on the buy side, the sellers, so price would need to come down while weight is up. So because this is backwards with Swiss first, we have to look at this in another way. It's going to be a bit challenging, but we'll do it. So the buyers in Swiss are happy. Now we go around and we do the same thing here. Okay, Swiss buyers. The buyers in Swiss, okay, are okay. They're kind of break even, but they're okay for now. The buyers in Swiss are okay, right? Because this is coming up. The buyers in Swiss are good because this is coming up. Since here, euro has not been going down. So the buyers in Swiss in the euro are not okay at the moment. They are relative to back there, but locally they're not. You can see it's gone sideways while everything else has gone down. Now, can euro hold this on its own while the rest have gone down? Well, it shouldn't be able to. Euro should collapse, okay? But if this is going up, we would be expecting euro not to collapse, right? So it should go below here and then a continuation if this was going to continue. But what I think is going on here is this is going to go up and the rest of them are going to have to end up following. So we'll put a line and we'll try to see if price wants to slowly go above it. Just from here, whatever. In the other currencies, that hasn't done it. Locally, pound is going higher than the euro. So we'll have to wait. Probably not till next week, this move, so we'll have to wait over the weekend, I suppose. Now, with all the yens down and the Swiss up against the LFX, they're going to have to liquidate those buys here. If they liquidate those buys, that's going to give weakness to the Swiss, which will help allow the euro to go up, and then everyone else will follow it slowly. Yeah, so the cat is left out of the bag. They've let the cat out of the bag with the yen. Basically, that's what's going on. Because the LFX weight is down. So that's what we're doing, guys. We'll carry on with that. Do we take another pound trade down here? That's the question. Would we like to add one? We might as well. Let's do it. and we'll write a note on the euro. So if bearish, price should fall. If, oh sorry, yeah, whatever. If Swiss is, so I hate this word. I mean, is green, then should, excuse the bad spelling. So that is our clue. This is what should happen if the Swiss is still strong. So we'll observe the Swiss yen and the euro, and then we'll do another video, probably on Sunday. But should we have a look at the crypto? Let's do that quickly. All right. Well, technically the main weight is still up here. Up. Okay. Up. All right. Up. Okay. Up. You got this is beginning to do this, so I mean you can call that chop, but it's, you know, given what we just discussed about how the Swiss came back, you know, it's high chance that it'll at least want to revisit this. So anyone trying to sell this here is really smoking something. And we are offside here, obviously, quite badly. What should have happened is this should have gone up, but it didn't. In it not doing that, everything else went down. But overall, okay, all that means is a localized trend to come back to its major balance pullback area, by the looks of this. Have a little look at something here. Yeah, now if we look at the highs here, it's a good high. Okay, this has gone higher than that one. This has gone higher than that one. So that means that the weight is up in crypto just by looking at the highs on those two. Okay, obviously it's down, but it's come up here, so that's still up. This is pretty good. And these two are down. So it's like, but that's quite a long way. So what it's telling me is this is going into chop for now anyway. Chop slash up. So I think on that note, we're just going to buy another OMG. All right, guys. Oh, one more pound. Let's look at or the slash dollar index. How's that doing? Yeah, it was this one. All right. Obviously, we know about the pound. Pound Aussie up. Pound New Zealand up. pound up, pound up. Pound is now back here. With dollar looking to come down further against the yen, and all of this still being an underlying deal built in, with pound New Zealand still showing pretty solid highs, and euro is chop, I would hold this further. We can do next week a 1 minute USD index. I think we're going to do. If all that works with what we've figured out with the yen, we'll do that on everything from now on, and that will be our standard practice in order to determine the stops before we enter. I think that's how we're going to do this now, rather than like being like a market maker, because this can be quite crazy, really, doing it this way, but it's fun. But yeah, let's try to tighten the screws up a little bit, I think. Anyway, guys, have yourself a nice weekend. Cheers.